Now? Don't get me started, doctor. Don't get me started. We're answering your relationship questions. So Drs. Adria O'Donnell, Dr. Richard Levac from the San Diego Psych Association, and our very special guest relationship coach, Dr. Nicole Meise. Good morning, doctors. Thanks for being here. It's not about me today. It's about our friends that are asking questions about love. Let's get right to it. This first question, I'm a successful guy in my 30s. I have never married. My last relationship lasted 3 years. My girlfriend left me and told me that I was too selfish and I had problems with intimacy. I really don't understand what intimacy is. Help.
Intimacy, in a nutshell, is the ability to share your complete truth with someone. That's all intimacy is telling someone your truth about how you feel, what you want. And most people role play in a relationship, play a role. Intimacy is learning to take some time to figure out, what am I feeling? How do I feel about you? What are my responses to you?
And how do I tolerate your vulnerability? It's just about being emotionally naked to that person and accepting their vulnerability and not running from that. But that's a hard thing at this age. You need some help.
One thing that stands out to me is the two words that the ex-girlfriend described is selfish and a lack of intimacy. And those two things, maybe perhaps he was so focused on himself that he had difficulty connecting with somebody else, or he was so concerned about what he wanted or needed that he had difficulty putting somebody else's needs beside his as well. So it's interesting that those two things are referenced.
Can I just say one thing? I'm going to do the female thing. He doesn't know how to be intimate. I'm going to take this female role.
That's
Men
not me.
don't. No.
Do you struggle more with intimacy?
He doesn't know. He's a man. I'm sorry. Men don't naturally know how to be emotionally intimate.
No, that's not true.
I'm
That's
going
not
for
true.
it.
No. That's not true.
It's not necessarily true, but there is a little bit more of a struggle. Come on, hands shaking it out.
It got a lively conversation.
My wife was an engineer, and when we got in a fight, she wanted to make love, and I'd say, no, I got to feel good about you. This whole idea
That's a masculine versus feminine personality type.
Doctor.
He's an
Very
expat.
special.
It doesn't work.
This is a really good question.
Oh,
Ladies,
sorry.
Please come and listen to this. I love a man who is probably not the one. We've been together for 3 years. He has no vision for our future together. He just wants to take it day by day. I'm way happier with him than alone, but am I wasting my best years?
Well, this is a concern, because here's the thing I always say. Relationships take a lot of time, money, and energy. And the problem is, if you're putting that much into it and you're not getting it back, it's like, why are you investing in something that may never pan out to something that you actually want? So it depends. If she's someone who really genuinely is, we're young, let's have fun, fine. But if she's someone who wants more, you can't settle for Mr. or Miss Right now. If that person's not giving you what you want, you need to open yourself up to other opportunities.
She's comfortable. She's like, I'm very happy, but that's comfortable. And that's easy, but I do think that she's going to miss a huge opportunity here and then blame him and say it's all him. If you don't want the same things, then that's when the relationship has to go in different directions.
And look at your own childhood patterns, what you were taught to expect from a relationship. If you had a distant father, if you had men in your life growing up that you had to work hard to please, but didn't bring your needs into focus, then maybe you've learned to look for a man who you're always pleasing, who doesn't give back to you. And that's a pattern you have to change.
And marriage and kids change everything. So if it's hard now and you're not dating your needs met now, and then you're going to bring people into the world that need you, this is a recipe for potential dissatisfaction.
Well, and I think the movies play it out. The problem is a lot of people try to model their relationships on what they see on television and what they see in films, which is this kind of constant, like, oh, if there's something wrong with me, if I can't get him to settle down.
Right.
And in reality, it's like, no, if it's from the perspective of, look, if that's what you're angling for and you're not getting it, probably best to just actually move on.
Well, I hope this answered the questions of our friends at home. This was good stuff today. Love is always a challenge. Always a challenge.